Howdy, all. Hope everyone's having a good night. I am Macron. This is my friend and co-host, Dirty Invincible, otherwise known as Jason.
Well,
We are here. Hopefully, I'm just going to start this out with crossing my fingers. Some of the technical difficulties have been dealt with. I'm hoping that at least for this stream, it's okay. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, some personal issues and technical difficulties have kind of kept me away from streaming for the last week and a half. So I believe we should be on the upswing though. So hopefully the stream goes nice, and looking forward to it. This would be session 6 of our game Tales from the Bloody Rift. We are getting on a roll here. That last game was real fun. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I just got all of the previous sessions added to a collection here on Twitch, and I'm getting them all uploaded onto YouTube as we speak. So those should be up on YouTube shortly if you guys want to catch up. Cut together so it's not like a bunch of broken videos like it is here on Twitch, but we do our best. So with that being said, Jason is going to go ahead and take us through the recap. Take it away, sir.
all right. Last time on Tales from the Bloody Rift, Stibby helped out Kayla and Sage with planning for a plan to board a ship of the cult of the Omega, something of the Omega, Order of the Omega, and
the Order of the Omega, yeah.
Yeah. So Sage takes place of one of their guards and sneaks aboard their station, planting a beacon for Kayla to fly in, and they both then wreak havoc upon the station, trying to find the various items they were sent there to look for, both the box for Phoenix Downey and some stick-like thing
I believe it's
Stimmy.
an alien Guga
Alien Guga
is the official name for it.
For Stimmy. Stimmy wanted the Guga, hence her interest in this mission going well. Then, as we found the other artifact for Phoenix, it had caused Sage to have some kind of memory or data surge or something that happened. And it also happened to trigger something with the it's the black hole, right? We think it's the black hole that triggered something out of character. And
yeah, I think
wreaking havoc.
We're kind of working that direction, you know, the with the gravitational anomalies and whatnot.
Yeah. So it started wreaking havoc on the station. That's how it provided cover for us to sneak about to get the alien Guga and make our way out.
Making our way downtown.
Yeah. Then we managed to make our way out of the station, and I think where we left off was right there when we got out of the station as all the chaos was ensuing. We snuck. We had to kind of sneak aboard the ship because there were people in there from doing the various emergency tasks.
We were lucky because it was a maintenance bay when we showed up, and so it was all empty when we showed up. But as soon as the stuff happened, it definitely filled with people.
Oh, that's right. I had to find the empty maintenance bay for Caleb.
Yeah, initially, yeah. That was the last one too. That's the great thing about this game is, and I think you've hit the nail on the head a few times with it, where it's just this game kind of just writes itself, you know. And it was just rolls. That's how we figured out that we got to the last, that last bay, and it just happened to be the right one we needed.
Yeah. So yeah, we didn't have to really fight our way out too much. There was an encounter with the priest whose Guga we stole, and we failed our bluff, trying to get him to think he needed to come with us in the emergency, and he called us out on it, and so I knocked him out. Bonk, like I did with
Bonk.
the guards. Um,
Peter Rabbit style, I believe, is how I
yeah,
described it.
just
Right on the head.
rather, and bop him on the head. Um, yeah. So that's where we left off. Lee.
All right. So we're gonna do some our God damn it, Jason, vinaigrettes, I believe. I'll start with mine, and then we can do yours. That work for you?
Okay.
So we're gonna set the scene here. We are in that same space station we were in. Very clearly, it's a big room with a long table in the middle. It's got all of this, intricate Gothic detailing, and there is a a, a large group, probably 20 or 30 uh, people in robes sitting around this table, and a couple of them are very having a very animated argument with each other. And as we come in, we get kind of in the middle of one of them yelling out essentially that the convergence is near. We can't waste any more time. That plays right into Phoenix's hands. And a priest sitting on the edge, who had been sitting patiently, kind of gives a little chortle that the rest of the table all kind of turn and look at him. Clearly, he's, either got some power or he's controversial in some way. He kind of leans forward onto the table and leers at the guy who just said that they couldn't waste any more time. He says, Phoenix is nothing to be concerned about anymore. We've gotten past the time where his limited knowledge could interrupt our plans, and our agents are deeply embedded at Evenfall. Even if he was able to weed us out of his operations there, it would be too late for him to stop the plan we've set in motion. And it's long been too late for him to near the completion of his own plans. Phoenix is a petulant child with no more knowledge or control than any other inhabitant of the sector. His words kind of drip with venom. Clearly doesn't think highly of the people who inhabit the sector. Another priest slams his fist on the table and stands up, and as he does, the station shakes violently and kind of knocks him back into his seat. All of a sudden, the alarms go off. Gravitational anomaly detected. All hands brace for turbulence. All maintenance prepare for emergency repairs. The priest that just gave his little speech about Phoenix there stands up. He says, "It appears we'll have to finish this talk later. I must get to my office." Leaving the meeting room, he winds his way through these dark Gothic hallways, just dripping with dread and whatnot. The station shaking occasionally. He steadies himself against the walls. As he turns a corner towards the priest office, two figures come rushing at him, a young woman and a large security guard. Puzzled, the woman seems to be carrying the sword from his office. He says, "What are you doing with my sword?" The woman rushes up to him, puts a hand on his shoulder, and puts the sword in his hands. "Priest Tucker, we were looking for you, sir." She goes to try to turn him back down the hallway he came from. "We were sent to find you. We need to get you to escape pod right now. The station's in danger." He pauses for a moment. He looks at the sword in his hands. He looks at her. He looks at the large security guard behind her. And he says, "Liar! Unhand me at once. We'll sort this out with the rest of security." The young woman kind of stops her panicked look, shrugs her shoulders, turns and looks at the guard behind her. The guard behind her steps forward and just brings his fist down on Tucker's head. He collapses in the hallway. End scene.
I love that. That was great.
Thank you. that was fun. I like adding a little bit of extra background to the flavorful stuff we've already done in game.
Yeah,
All right, what
awesome.
do you got for us? What's your vinaigrette today, Jason?
All right. So we see a pair of glowing figures lead a long floating box down a series of stairs, the steps of which appear to be upturned metallic frustum with rounded edges. Steam like vapor wafts from an unknown source from the dark below. The only light comes from the bioluminescent pulses of pinks, purples, and blues dancing across the frilled edges of the two figures' ray like bodies, almost in a call response pattern as if talking to each other through light. They reach the bottom of the steps, and one of the figures gestures towards a polygonal shape in the wall with one of its tentacled limbs. The shape seems larger at the top, as if fit for the figure of the being standing before it. Symbols light up on what appears to be a locking mechanism, changing in color from a red triangle to a green circle. An aperture opens in what is now a polygonal doorway. The two make their way through the door into yet another unlit chamber. For as far as one can see with the limited amount of light, the chamber appears to be vast and endless. Along the floor are pearlescent globes affixed to small rectangular dioceses, spaced apart enough to allow a modest-sized figure enough room to walk or float between them. Each dais holds about 4 of these globes in a row. The figures float down a few aisles until they come across an empty slot on the floor. One of the figures, with a staff-like object, waves it over the box in a figure-8 motion. Symbols glow along the sides of the box, and it seems to lower itself into the slot in the floor. Soon, the tops and sides of the box begin to pull apart and recede into the bottom of the box, revealing 4 globes. The globes are pulsating in warm tones of white, but soon stop. The figures nod and glow to each other, then they make their way back out of the chamber. They exit into the stairway, the door aperture closing behind them and locking as they exit. The ascent seems endless, as if they were climbing from the bowels of the planet itself. Soon, another door, and they exit the stair into an antechamber, the door locking behind them. The antechamber itself is made up of polished stonework etched with runes on all the pillars in it. Some of the walls behind those pillars have murals of phosphorescent paint depicting what seems to be scenes of the daily life of the Essentia in the garden amid stone buildings. They exit the antechamber, and there they stand on a large dais, much like the one in the murals. The figure with the staff waves the staff at the door, and patterns emerge along the edges of the door, locking mechanisms engaging all around it. An organic-looking vessel awaits them, and they board it. Other Essentia appear to be boarding other ships around them, scattered around the complex of monolithic stone buildings. And we cut to orbit, a mass exodus of ships from the planet, all prepare to be taking off into the void of space.
Very nice.
The end.
Very nice. I'm digging the little. I'm digging the. I'm digging the Essentia background that we get with info about Tim's people and whatnot. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and take our momentum for that. Oh,
I do
actually,
not
I'm
know
gonna
the rules
go
of
ahead
what
and
is
swap
this.
the scene. All right.
Where's my character? Where's the window?
It's hiding somewhere. Very nice. I get the feeling we're gonna need that momentum, so always nice to get some momentum there. Always nice to abuse the game mechanics for content. All right, let's see.
Where? Oh, there I am. Yee. 9 momentum. Nice.
That will probably save us at some point, I assume. um, Okay, so to set the scene where we're at now, we uh we just escaped the space station. We're on the ship. I'm gonna assume that we get to. I mean, we can roll for it. For getting back to Sagan, the space station that Stimmy's on. Uh, we were talking about going to see her, not just to get her the object she requested, but also to get her input on what we should do with the box, maybe, or about what we should do about Phoenix, maybe, and then maybe it gives us a chance to talk more about what happened with the box on the space station because Sage was out of it for a moment there. That's all Kayla knows. We didn't really talk about it other than you said you saw things. I think
Yeah.
so. All right, so let's real quick deal with the getting back to Sagan. Kayla's going to go ahead and chart a course. I believe is what it is. What's the where is it? Exploration. Set a course. We get no bonuses for that. I don't think we did anything at the end of that session that would have given me a bonus. Yeah, so we're just gonna set a course. Oh wait, did we actually? We already set a course, didn't we? I was just going back to look through the. And we got a strong hit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
that okay. So
sweet.
yeah, we did not run into a gravitational anomaly.
Yeah. Okay. So we just head straight back to Sagan. We get there, a completely uneventful trip back. Uh, Kayla looking over at Tim the whole time as she pilots away from the station, experiencing the gravitational anomaly. Though the ship is, the Mercy, the ship that they're on, is completely unharmed, and she's like piloting it with one hand while watching Tim out of the corner of her eye because she's pissed off at Tim still for giving her shit.
Oh, Tim.
So we get back to the station. I think there's a small chance that we run into any trouble. So I'm just gonna say, let's see, where did I put it? Ask the Oracle. There we go. So I'm gonna say there's a small chance that we run into anything. Um, do we run into problems getting to Stimmies? Right. And nope, we do not. Okay. So we get there, we dock, we head in, uh, go over to Stimmy's. Stimmy is in her usual spot at her bar in the middle of Sagan. Um, it wasn't too long ago that we saw her. I mean, this whole trip, I think we talked about it. The travel there was probably a couple of hours. The travel back, probably a couple more, and then we maybe spent an hour or two on the station itself. So it's same day essentially.
Yeah.
So I think Kayla, I think we should. I think we should take the box with us and talk to Stimmy about it before we leave the ship. Go to Stimmy's. Stimmy stops with Sage and says, "I think we should take the box to Stimmy. At least see what she thinks about it. Maybe get her input on what we should do with Phoenix."
Do we flesh out what it was?
Then it gave you visions. We talked about it being like
Gave me
one of the.
visions.
We
Yeah.
talked about being something that was a way that the Essentia like passed on the instructions for what they wanted people to do.
Yeah.
But I think that was it. We hadn't really gone past that. That's just kind of a developing it a little bit. So maybe uh, if Phoenix wants it and uh, and Order of the Omega had it, maybe it's a uh, maybe it's like an instruction manual on how to start the process of uh, hatching the Essentia from Cerberus. Unless you had other ideas for it.
No, that actually ties in to what I was kind of thinking, or with what I just gave in the
Yep,
vinaigrette. I think,
I saw you were going with that.
yeah.
I thought that was great. No, and I think that's the thing. Like it's not like maybe there's like some extra knowledge as part of it, but the very bare bones gist of it is, uh, you know, uh, someone who's some race who's been touched by the Essentia can activate this thing. That's why Tim specifically triggers the box, and it just explains to them how to fulfill their purpose essentially, uh, whatever that purpose may be. So maybe in this case it's how to how to hatch the Essentia. Other places it might just be instructions for keeping their civilization going, or for advanced technology or something like that. But in this particular case, it seems to be to tie back to how to use the black hole, the bloody rift, to start the process of hatching the Essentia out of Cerberus. And I feel like Tim probably saw a lot of flashes. Like his interaction with it was, as the box gets activated, he sees a lot of flashes of just the black hole and the planet, and like different things happening and something emerging from the planet. Maybe
Yeah.
like he might not understand everything that he saw, but that's like the rough outline of what he saw. So yeah, so Sage or so Kayla stops before we leave the ship and says that basically is like, hey buddy, so what happened back there?
I saw things from home, just images, stone buildings, kind of like the ruins that I used to play in and train in as a kid.
So like
Something like a staff,
so
some
Kayla's
glowing
like kind of
shapes,
like getting that questioning look on her face.
something about the rift, and I think I saw Cerberus from space.
Saw Cerberus. She kind of like looks, because you can kind of we're in our
Like
ship.
not like where we're in now, like on the station, but like floating above it. Like I wasn't there, but it was there.
She she kind of nods while clearly thinking about this, like a little like, okay, that's a little crazy. I mean, admittedly, you're a guy with a symbiote, but that seems a little out there, man. Like she uh she kind of shifts gears a little bit. What? I think we should talk to Stimmy about this. I'm a little concerned about giving this to Phoenix now, given that it caused this gravitational anomaly. It seemed to have caused this gravitational anomaly, and you like zoned out while you opened it. Like, I don't know what the deal is with it. Maybe we should, maybe she knows more about what's going on in the sector than we do, and she might have a better idea about what to do here.
Tim kind of jumps to attention at the mention of getting other people involved and kind of pokes up and looks at you and then starts making his,
His
little
little.
beep sounds. I'm going to roll a 50-50. Or maybe unlikely. 50-50. That's 50-50. You hear him complain about it's a bad idea. Like, you hear him beeping, like his beeping as if he's talking at you, but you understand him talking to you.
I do.
Saying it's a bad idea.
Do I now? My
Do
question
not
is,
get them involved.
do I understand it clearly, or is it like I get the implication of the noises he's making?
Like you understand it clearly.
I understand it. Oh, okay. Is this like a new thing for me, or is this something that I've kind of noticed a little bit over time? That I kind of am picking up little things.
Maybe that you've been picking up little things, like you're starting to understand.
So we're talking about a Chewbacca / Groot situation here. Is what I'm getting at. Okay.
Yeah, you're learning to speak Groot.
He's doing his thing, making his little noises, and I'm my eyes just automatically roll back and go.
And I start to explain what he said.
And I hold my hand up and I go, I get it. He doesn't think it's a good idea. She kind of takes a step back and puts her hand on her forehead and goes, I don't know. I was just throwing stuff at the wall and see if it would stick. I get you. I don't think it's such a great idea to be spreading this around either, especially clearly there's some kind of power play going on with everyone trying to steal crap from each other and these Order of the Omega people and their giant space station that they're hiding in the sector. Like what? Like there's a lot going on. So maybe we leave it behind. Maybe we.
I think Tim has an idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see how likely it involves a spaceship.
God damn it! I don't have the money to buy you a tiny spaceship yet, Tim.
It does involve a tiny spaceship. It certainly does. He says, "Why don't we hide it aboard a tiny spaceship, and I can pilot it out of here with his beeps."
Said, "Okay, Tim. Look, the tiny spaceship idea. I'll give you. It's a good one. It would." But we don't actually have a tiny spaceship. I mean, the best we've got is what, like, I mean, I might, the Mercy's got like 2 EV suits with jets and whatnot. And she kind of like stands there staring at Tim.
He asks if you can eat it.
If you can eat the box?
Yeah.
That's what she says. If you can eat the box?
Tim doesn't make sense sometimes.
Do you want to take the box off the station, Tim? Is that what I'm hearing? That's what I'm hearing. I don't have a tiny ship for you. Maybe we can stuff you in a suit and rig it up so you can control it.
Is this Baby Groot? I mean, Baby Yoda? Is that what this?
Yes.
That's what my
we'll
brain was
blaster
trying
him
to
into
say.
this. Right. I pop the door, the little storage hatch. Because we're kind of we're in one of the entryways of the spaceship, and so I pop the little storage hatch, and it's got we got a bunch of like airtight spacesuits hanging up, and then there's like 2 like rigid suits that are like kind of armored and look they're very humanoid, but they've got this big pack on them with obvious like jets and stuff. And I said, all right, eat the box, get in the suit. I think mechanically the way this works is We let Tim take the box. We get him in the suit. I rig up while he's doing that. I kind of rig up the controls so he can reach them. They're usually like inside one of the gloves or something like that. And I just kind of like pull the whole control assembly back and get it to where he could reach it from inside the center of the suit. And I think we just get him out the like push him out one of the back entrances to the ship. Like there's probably like two entryways on the ship. So we go to the back one, and that one kind of leads out into the open space section of the docking bay we're in. She starts taking this real seriously, and if Sage thinks this is a bad idea, he should probably stop her.
Did what has happened so far? Like that was your idea of what happens. What has happened?
I think we get all the way to the point where we give Tim the box and jam him in into the suit.
He wonders what's going on, and then just snaps back into place as a like vest like thing onto me.
So I'm like, okay, so it was a joke.
I don't know what Tim is up to,
Oh,
and now he's doing his
Tim.
thing where he won't talk.
Damn it, Tim. Okay, let's leave the box on the ship, at the very least. Let's very gently bring this up to Stimmy, without much detail. Let's ask her what she thinks we should do if she thinks we should really hand this over to Phoenix. What her feelings are about Phoenix beyond what we already know, which is I don't think she cares much for him, but she didn't really. I don't think we really talked about it. She was more interested in us stealing the alien Guga for her, which is a sword. Now that I've decided it's a sword.
Okay.
So we leave the box on the ship. I tuck it away where if someone was to board the ship, they're not going to find it easily. Smuggling. I got some smuggling panels.
Very nice.
And we make our way to Stimmy's. I'm not sure what we're going to say when we get there, but we start going there. Stimmy's there in her usual place, her usual booth at her bar. She's expecting us. I don't know if she expected us so soon, but she definitely was waiting patiently to hear back from us. I bring the alien Guga with us, but it's in kind of wrapped up in a pack, so it's not easily visible. It just looks like a rucksack that I filled with stuff. And we come up into the bar, and I sling the pack down on the table, and I say, got some fresh alien Guga for you. I think Stimmy's appreciative. Obviously, she wanted this. I think Kayla would immediately shift into asking about payment, even though initially we just talked about the payment being her helping us get onto the station.
Oh God,
So
she's gonna hate us again. She's gonna hate us again.
Look, I'm not going to I'm not going to mince words here. We did a very dangerous thing. We needed to do a very dangerous thing for ourselves, but then we in turn did another dangerous thing for you. Stealing one thing from that goddamn space station was hard. Stealing two things was extra hard. I think that deserves some compensation. What let's see. What would that be? That would be this is going to be a compel, right? Try to persuade someone or make them an offer. So I'm gonna say she is hamming it up the danger. Like it was very smooth. We like were in and out, and we got everything we needed. I mean, the most dangerous part is that some people saw us and figured out that we weren't supposed to be there. So someone knows what I look like now from that group. But I mean, this is all out of character. I think I'm playing up the danger aspect of it though. So I think I'm lying, right? I think I'm.
I mean, after we caused havoc, it was pretty damn easy to get in and out. But she doesn't need to know that.
So I'm gonna use my scoundrel ability when making a move by lying, bluffing, stealing, or cheating. Add +2. So I'm gonna roll a compel, which is a liar with a liar swindle. So it's shadow. I'm gonna roll and then add 2. 2. Come on, motherfucker!
Nice.
God damn it! And of course, of course, it's a 7 is the bottom one. Damn it! Well, at least it wasn't a match this time, I guess. Ooh-wee. I just cannot make inroads with. Oops.
Are you going to burn that momentum, or
can't.
does it have to be above 7?
It has to be above. It's not meet or beat. You have to beat it. That's why it sucks, because it was
just pissed off Stimmy.
Well, let's see. So I'm gonna ask Oracle for inspiration here, because I think the simplest answer is that we piss off Stimmy again. But I think that just kind of piles on. So we'll see if anything interesting comes up. Let's see. God damn it. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Okay, I shouldn't have rolled.
Okay.
Oh.
She holds us up. Tells us to hand over Tim.
Oh, shit. Stimmy going all in?
How about that? Is that...
So I was just, yeah, I think that's good. I wasn't going to give up Tim for this, but that I like that. The only other way I was thinking was she tries to kill us. She just outright gets tired of our shit. Well, at least my shit. And so she shoots me and maybe damages my gun or something like that. Like I like my guns. I do like my guns. But I could also see, yeah, I think her maybe okay, her thugs come out while I'm sitting there giving my spiel, and she's like, "Well, now you just lost your symbiote friend."
All right. Come to fight Stimmy.
So, I think there's I think she knows we're dangerous, but she can.
How many of them are there?
That's why I'm getting at. I think she knows we're dangerous, and she probably can put together enough firepower to make it on the space station to at least give us enough trouble that we might surrender just outright. So I'm thinking 3 or 4 people with laser rifles or something like that, right?
Okay. We're going to burn that momentum of mine right away, aren't we?
Probably, because we're going to have to enter the fray here.
Yeah.
So Stimmy is just sitting there looking at me while I'm, hamming it up and doing my thing, which eventually I'll get tired of this used car salesman shtick and stop doing it at people. But I got to try to make my money too. We're in this. It's a business. It's a business. I'm getting tired of people telling us what to do and whatnot. I kind of want to make my own decisions sometimes. Unfortunately, though, as I'm doing my thing, she sits there and looks up at me and says, "Are you done?" And I kind of get the sinking feeling that I screwed up again. Kayla, kind of her attitude kind of gets a little withdrawn and says, "Well, yeah." And Stimmy like lifts her hands and snaps her fingers, and four guys step out. There's a couple of them sitting in booths and a couple of them behind the bar. Step out with big guns, level them at us. She kind of points around the room and says, "So, the price for that is going to be losing your friend's symbiote there." And with that, we enter the fray.
Okay, my hope for the result here is that Tim and I use enough force, show enough force that it makes them think twice about that decision and back down. But
okay,
and that we don't have to continue cutting down people, but we will if we have to.
I'm going to let you enter the fray first then. But
is that caught in a trap or? Because
I would say we're. Well, I mean, you're? I think we are caught in a trap, but I think this depends on how I think your response is because you're looking to use.
I was going to face
facing off. I think facing off is it like.
That's what I initially saw, but then I was like, "Oh, but this is a trap as well."
We're caught in a trap, but I think if your reaction to this to starting up the fight per se is to like puff your chest up and try to like cut things off before it gets to the point where we actually fight. I think that's reasonable, because it's not like they sprung the trap on us and started shooting at us. They made a demand, So we, I think if we were completely surprised and they tried to kill us immediately, that would definitely be caught in a trap. But
okay,
I think facing off against your foe is valid, because that's what Kayla is like gonna let Sage. Kayla knows Sage well enough that she's gonna let Sage do what Sage does, and then she's gonna try to take advantage of whatever chaos he causes if it gets to shooting.
Yeah, I'd say we're in close quarters right now.
Absolutely. I think there's probably I think the two guys over by the bar are probably a little ways away, so they're not quite close quarters, but the other two guys were like right behind us to show us that they mean business, kind of thing,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm doing something aggressive. So I get to add my Tim.
Oh, add the Tim. Don't forget to add the Tim.
And this is a heart. Yeah. Ho! 2 momentum. We're in control. I, puff my chest kind of thing. Tim and I go into battle stance, and I draw my giant ass sword and just like stare Stimmy down. Ask her if she's really sure she wants to do that.
Okay.
And Tim beeps out some very logical argument towards Stimmy that it is possible to separate us like that, let alone for a long period of time. And that she should second guess it, and that we would all be better off with ships of our own.
So Sage is standing there with this sword, and he's said his piece, and then Tim starts like fucking
Beeping at
Kenny
them.
from South Park.
You know,
Kayla, her hand slowly goes to her forehead, and she kind of like turns her head towards Sage and Tim and says, "Tim, honey, they can't understand you, Tim. They don't understand you."
well, you understand me.
I think do you I okay, so you got a strong hit. I think you have the space to say that, but I think taking control while also entering the fray looks a lot like
Well, I
immediately
checked two momentum.
disabling one of those guys' guns.
Yeah, okay. That happens.
So
I cut
he
down the
like
closest guy to me in one sweep. Like I draw. It's like Jitsu, and just bam, whip out the sword and just knock the guy out to the side. And Tim is like in his protective bubble form around me.
so you guys
Living shield.
you still do you still kind of have the little showdown with Stimmy there after you
Yeah.
drop this dude. And uh
I cannot go any higher than what I have in momentum.
I know, right? You got to start burning that momentum, man. So, I think Kayla takes advantage of this of you doing that, and then kind of the moment between you guys uh, and Stimmy, and she's going to try to shoot and disable the guns of the other guys at the bar. At least one of them. So she's going to use her gunslinger ability. So when she enters the fray, facing off against a foe, uh, she gets a +1 to the attack. So it's going to be heart +1. Motherfucker. Okay, I'm going to burn the momentum at least for the weak hit. God damn it. Okay, so I did get a hit though, so I get the +1 momentum. So Kayla, I'm gonna take the being in control. I think that's more important for us right now than the momentum,
Yeah.
or more important for me than the momentum because I just burned my momentum. So Kayla's gonna she turns on the two guys at the bar. She puts one shot out, just misses the first guy's gun, puts the second shot out, and just bam, hits his gun right in the side, just puts a big hole through it, and the guy drops his gun. So now they're down to two people, and Kayla's sitting there pointing her gun at the guys behind the bar. She doesn't say anything cool because she only rolled a weak hit, so it's just
Should we see if Stimmy is going to yield?
I think
she wants to continue the fight here.
Oh man, we didn't do a thing. We're supposed to do a thing. Let me see. Let me start this up. So yeah, I think what because I think add a
Oh, the battle progress?
Yeah, we got to add a progress thing.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Fight. So I'm going to say this is dangerous, and both of us made progress on that. Fight with Stimmy's goons.
Yeah, that's a better way to figure out whether or not she yields or not.
So you got progress, and then I'll mark progress. I think she's. I don't think Stimmy gives up until her back's really up against a wall. I don't think she's made it this far here. Without
Okay.
pushing things.
We continue.
And I think she thinks that she could probably talk us out of it, even if it gets down to just us versus her.
So I'm gonna strike then. So yeah, I yelled, "Do you yield?" She says no, and then I turn to the next closest guy and I strike at him.
Do it.
So where's that at? I just had that open. Strike. So I get a 1 from Blade Master. Do. I don't think I get something from Tim. I guess this is an aggressive
No,
move.
I think you're acting aggressively. I think any kind of.
Are these
fighting.
cumulative, or do I just take the largest of the two?
That is
So this is
a
a
good
+2 or a
question.
+3.
That is something I actually would need to look at the book for. Let me see. Oh God, what is the name of Foxit? I was like, what's the name of the other PDF reader I use? Oh yeah, Foxit. Starforged rulebook. All right, let's look. Whoops.
The bonus is stack.
Nice.
Okay. Excellent. So that happens. Roll iron. Okay.
Hey.
I cut the fucker down. But I'm in a bad spot.
Oh, you marked progress twice.
I did.
That's what it says.
Hmm.
It says mark progress twice, but you exposed yourself to danger.
Oh.
So you knock that one dude down, but your back is to the other guy.
Yeah, the remaining guy.
And even though I shot at him, he saw I was going for guns, and he sees you cutting down the other thugs. So he thinks, hey, bigger danger. I don't want that guy in melee range of me. And turns on you. So I think he unloads a volley from his laser rifle. Just a couple of shots. Doesn't hit you, but clearly is causing you to have to think about where you're standing and maybe getting into a more defensive position.
Yeah, I believe it's react under fire.
Yeah, that would be what the follow up is.
Is he? Well, yeah, he needs to fire at me, right?
No. So okay, so in what I've seen from other people doing combat, it's kind of a we are the only ones that take actions. We give the enemies stuff that they do that kind of fits the situation, but we don't need to like roll for them or anything like that. It's our role. What our roles do determine what happens to us, essentially.
Okay. So he's firing at me from across the room. I'm dodging, taking cover. So roll.
I think. Well, I don't even think you need to roll for it. You just say, okay, well, I'm going to dodge, but that just means you're still far away from him. You have to get into cover, but you don't have an immediate way to get to him from where you're at, that's the best spot you're in. So next time you act, you have to do something like react under fire or what's it called?
Well, yeah, that's
clash.
that's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
I guess because I'm not in close quarters if I'm from across the room at that point, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but it says when you exchange fire at a distance, roll edge. Okay. Okay, that fits well. Clash. Um, I'm not exchanging fire though. Am I? Do I have? I can't remember. Do I have a pistol?
Well, Kayla's gonna as you duck, Kayla's gonna Kayla's gonna try to put herself in a more advantageous position. She doesn't like being between Stimmy and the other guy.
Okay. Yeah. Do your.
So
Do your thing.
she's going to actually she's going to try to gain ground by putting herself in more of a defensive spot. Um, so I think that's going to be. I'm going to call it maneuvering. She's going to kind of tuck and roll and put a couple of shots towards the other guy behind the bar, kind of try to get his attention while you're also ducking out of the way. But she's also going to keep an eye on Stimmy this while this is going on too. So it's going to be edge. Come on, not a terrible roll, motherfucker. Okay. I'm gonna take two momentum. So I'm gonna she sidesteps and just puts some cover fire down, so the guy is not an immediate threat to you, you know. But she doesn't. She's not in the greatest position, but we clearly have the upper hand so far. So she's gonna take the momentum instead of marking progress. So now your turn to react to that guy.
Okay. Um. So what was the result of your?
So you take the one guy out, you take the other guy out, but the guy from behind the bar is shooting at you. You kind of go duck behind one of the tables or something, you like throw a table up, you know, the old, you
Yeah.
know, thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys
Problem
shooting at
child.
you. Kayla's going to do the same thing you did, just on the other side, so that Stimmy is still between the two of us. And I can kind of keep an eye on Stimmy while also laying down some cover fire for you. So Kayla runs over and knocks the table over, gets behind it, and puts some shots down, but doesn't even get close to hitting the guy. Just kind of distracts him a little bit. Uh,
Okay.
so uh,
Um.
she's still in control, but you're still in a bad spot.
That's one.
So you
Yep.
got to do the
Got to. That's one thing.
whatever you want to
Uh.
do there.
All right. Well then, I wait for a moment. Between shots where I think I've got an opening combined with your cover fire. Jump over the table, and you know, both Tim and I are flinging ourselves across the room, basically, uh, almost like we're flying, and you know, with an overhand kind of maneuver, try to bring our sword down on the guy. Um, yeah, do a little charging kind of attack. Jump, jump,
His
jump
attention moved for
charge.
just a split second, and you're on him already, like
Yeah.
coming down with your sword.
Yep. So yeah, getting back into position, basically. I guess was that. Is that? I don't know.
What were you react under fire? Was that what you
Yeah,
were going
that's
for?
reacting to fire.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um, like this is just to close in, I
Yeah,
guess.
you're closing in and threatening to do damage to him.
I said edge, right?
Yeah.
Edge.
Jesus.
Weak hit. Okay, a suffer move.
Here's
Yeah, I mean, I charge up there with Tim. With the sword raised above us, which was bad and contrary to our training because we left an opening. Sorry, excuse me, an opening. So Tim rushes to try and block a shot and takes one.
yeah. Let me throw this out there. Let's put a little flavor and spin on that for you. You rush up. You got the sword. You're going in overhand. You close the gap with guy. You're bringing the sword down on him. He doesn't have time. He sees you and his head turns to look at you, but he doesn't. He's bringing his gun around by the time you got the sword coming down. But then you feel Tim tug at you and kind of stop you from making contact with this, bringing the sword all the way down on him, and you hear from behind you a laser shot, and you feel Tim getting hit, and Stimmy is now behind the table at her booth with a pistol and put a shot on you, but Tim intercepted it.
Yeah. Okay. So that will be companion takes a hit. What the? Let me make sure I'm reading this. Okay, so
let us take a look at your.
Poor Tim takes the hit here. He's at 1 health. Okay, and then because the health is not 0, I ignore the rest of this.
Yep.
Done.
I assume Tim though, like at least make some kind of noise.
Oh yeah, he screams. He does not like it. He screams in pain to us, but he just makes a wounded animal beeping sound to everything else.
Oh, everyone's heart breaks immediately and looks at Tim like a puppy dog,
Yeah.
So, I think you're in a position to take another move though, just as is. You're already kind of there. Tim blocked the shot. I think if you wanted to try to clash with that guy to bring your sword down on him before he can do anything to you,
I do that.
and then I'll follow up with hopefully with Stimmy if everything goes okay.
Yeah. All right, clash again. With our only one for Tim. Oh, I was supposed to be adding 2 for Tim. I did not do that.
Oh, were you?
Or no, I was. Oh, that okay. I'm silly.
It's okay, Jason.
I was doing 1 for Blade Master and then 2 for Tim. Now I'm doing 1 for Blade Master, 1 for Tim. Yeah, I mean, I cut him down with my sword. That's iron. Dunzo.
Sweet baby Jesus.
I'm gonna burn some momentum here.
Yeah, because it'll be
mark progress twice. Hey, look at that!
Nice.
You can't mark progress any further.
That's fine because
you overwhelm your foe and are in control. Yep. So after that, I take them down. I whip around angrily at Stimmy. Both Tim and I just give her a death stare with our sword pointed at her, and like, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
Kayla stands
and then
up.
I say something stupid like, "See, this is why Tim said we shouldn't bring the box." And then he kind of does a face palm as best he can.
Kayla is also like, don't react. In her head, she's like, don't react. Don't give it away that was something important.
with his one wits.
So you turn on Stimmy. Kayla's standing and pointing the gun at her. We're gonna roll progress here. It's 10, so she might suicide. Who knows? Because we've been getting shit rolls, but nope. Okay. All right, that's a strong hit. So Kayla doesn't shoot, doesn't she just, points between what you said and Kayla standing there with her gun aimed at Stimmy, and Stimmy kind of being stuck in her booth behind her table. She tosses out her gun and she says, "Okay, maybe we can talk about paying you." Puts her hands up and stands up. Kayla's like, "I don't know. Tim, does it seem a little late to be talking about payment now?"
He asking about food and a tiny ship.
A tiny ship. I said, "Oh, we'll get enough for this tiny ship." And turns to Stimmy and says,
he starts talking about the food items you never heard of, neither of us ever heard of, and how he wants a lot of that. I shrug. I have no idea what he's talking about.
I shrug back at Sage, and we both kind of look at Stimmy, and I say, "You owe my boy over there some beer and enough money to build a tiny ship." Walk up to Stimmy, and I say, "If we didn't take down 4 of your people, I think this might end a little differently. But I feel like we've made ourselves clear here. I think that our negotiation is done. Am I right?" Stimmy just kind of reluctantly nods.
Does this shake her, or is this just another day for her?
I think that's a good question. Because like I said, I feel like that whole like her being willing to fight until all her guys are down. I think that's totally like, she's rough and tumble. She's been doing business in the sector for a while. She'll keep going until she realizes she needs an out. And so I think that's a good question to ask. That's a good one for the Oracle there. Do you think? I think it's 50-50 shot. Like, okay. I don't think she put everything she had into attacking us, but I think she thought she had an overwhelming show of force, and we handled them for the most part.
Overwhelmingly.
So I think it's a 50-50 shot whether or not. So is Stimmy shaken by this?
Yes.
Ooh, Rick. She
is why the legends of the famed fighters of Yonar are well earned.
I think the mercenaries of the Mercy have made it clear that they are a force to be reckoned with in this sector at this point in time. I think she's shaken, and I think we can tell, but it's not something that she shows directly. It's one of those things where you've dealt with enough people who think they're big badasses. You see, we notice the change in her demeanor. Not that she is pissing her pants, but that she's
got more respect clearly, for us. Like
yeah.
like one with a lion, right? Like a lion tamer with a lion, right? Like
yeah.
Or well, maybe that's a bad example.
Or like it's like that guy that
more like a gladiatorial combatant having to face off against a pride of lions.
No, it's like that guy that he was a I think he was the head of a wild animal park in like Zimbabwe or something like that back in like the 70s. He would like go out amongst the gorillas and they would like charge him and he would just stand still and they would like back off after they charged him, and you can tell like they're still playing it up like they're big tough guys, but they're very clearly like okay, okay, okay. So I feel like that's the way it goes with Timmy is she is not very, she there's no anyone else watching this, sees her very coldly get up and agree to our demands essentially, but she doesn't seem to be like, afraid of us necessarily from the outside. We can just tell that's you get that feeling because having dealt with a lot of people like her, right?
Yeah.
So I think do I mean Sage mentioned it. We're in we're in a position of power right now. Do we want to like maybe broach the box with Stimmy still?
I think we
Like,
press her about what the doodad is for.
okay. So Kayla walks over to the table because she tossed the table and it dropped everything on the floor. And reaches down and grabs the bag. The sword's in. She rights the table in front of Stimmy, takes the bag, puts it on the table, pulls the sword out, puts it on top of the bag, and says, "Okay, so now you're going to pay us, but you're also going to do us a couple of favors here. And the first one is explain what the fuck this is and why you wanted it." And now we have to figure out what it is and why she wanted it.
Like when you say it's a sword, is it like just shaped like a sword, or is it obviously like a sword?
I had it like in my mind as like an alien looking sword, like kind of like like maybe like a futuristic sci-fi cutlass thing, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
So like maybe it's an artifact from Cerberus, and there used to be a species on Cerberus that the Ascension made just like Tim's people.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that they're symbiotes, but that there's
Yeah.
another,
But just
you know,
another, yeah, essentially
essentially a life form that they
like
created
they
to,
do,
yeah, they go around, they seed these planets and they have these like, they build life up on these planets to be custodians for them and to trigger the thing to actually hatch the Essentia. So it's like it's just a I think for the most part, I think Stimmy's interest in it is probably that she can turn around and sell it because it's like an alien, like an ancient alien weapon. She only knows a very like limited amount about it. Maybe maybe she is the dealer. Maybe she's the middleman that got the sword for uh from the people on Sagan to Priest Tucker, and that's how she knew it was there. So it's like the she's kind of like maybe getting tired of everyone's bullshit and kind of wants some needs a stash of cash to buy her way out of whatever is going on in this sector. And so she wanted us to get this because she thinks she can turn around and sell it in another sector for tons of money because it's a crazy, old alien sword. It has some, it very clearly isn't human in origin, but it's still kind of a sword, you know?
Yeah.
So I think she explains the whole shtick to us then. She says, I uh the what are the Sagan people called? The Sagan free uh,
Society.
Sagan free
Something like that.
society?
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Um let's see.
Oh, we need to
Oh
do
yeah,
the
we
progress roll. Um,
yeah.
a
You want
progress
to
roll with 10 progress.
do that for the Steel Alien Guga, because we did fulfill our vow. I'd like to point out,
Strong hit with
despite
a match. That's with
nice.
the fight. That was the fight.
Oh, that was the fight. Oh, we did that already. Fight with
Oh, that's
Stimmy's goons. I did the progress roll that got us the other one.
okay.
What you need to do is the progress roll on the Steel Alien Guga, because now we've essentially finished that.
Strong hit.
Hey, we'll take it. This was what? Dangerous. So it's 2 ticks on our quest legacy track for each of us. 2. All right. Hey, that for both
Get
of
our
us, that should
first
be one
box.
full one, right?
Yeah.
Does how we have to look at that? What is the what's the process for dealing with that? It's a legacy thing, so we probably don't want to deal with it right now. But I'm just curious.
Oh no, we don't want to deal with it right now. Or if we do, we role play it out. Give it
Yeah, I just want to
a
see real
decent role
quick
play.
what the
It's like get another asset or something.
when you fill a legacy, you earn experience.
Wait, you're an
Oh, you
experience,
do
and then
no, you do an earn experience move. Per that move, you take 2 experience for each newly filled legacy box. Okay, so yeah, we'll deal with that later. But we just do the earn experience move, which I believe is just deciding how to spend it. I don't think there's
yep.
anything we have to roll or anything like that, but it'll be in here. We'll get that.
Well, I know it was like if you gain an asset, make sure you role play it out, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Was the gist of it.
Okay. So Simi explains to us the shtick with it. Explains to us that she's tired and she wants out of this fucking sector. She's tired of the the incessant in and out, back and forth with the Sagan people and the Order of the Omega, and now Phoenix is just digging in, causing all kinds of trouble. And she remembers, that the Sagan Free Society people had gotten had on one of their expeditions to Cerberus, while they're prepping it for what do you call it? While they're prepping it for oh my god, oh my god. This whole thing has been all about these people trying to terraform. Sorry, thank you, terraforming.
Yeah.
So while they're prepping to terraform, they find these kind of like ancient temple things, and they bring back some artifacts. And one of those artifacts happens to catch the eye of Tucker, and Tucker wants her to steal it from them. So she organizes the theft, gets it over to Tucker. Remembering that Tucker has this and knowing that it's some kind of alien artifact of some kind, she's like, "This is easy money. If I take this, I can go a couple of sectors away. There's going to be plenty of people that would love to buy an actual alien artifact. And so I'll be set wherever I go, even if I just get out of here with the skin of my teeth," which is why she was also willing to attack us for it, or attack us for being a dick, essentially, or not being a dick, but demanding payment and stuff.
Well, saw an opportunity to also secure a symbiote, which would also fetch a really high price on
There you
whatever
go.
market you're going to.
I totally forgot that she was
sector.
asking us for Tim. So yeah, that was like it would have been a double whammy. It would have been the artifact and a symbiote. Like this would have been she would have been set for life wherever she decided to go. She wouldn't have even had to set up and do this whole thing anymore. She could have buy her own space station probably for the amount of money she could get there. So she explains it all, and we're both, I assume, just sitting there nodding. Mm-hmm, yeah, yeah. Kayla's leans back with her arms across her chest and goes, "Okay, well, Sword's ours now. No, no, wait. No, she doesn't say that. She says, well, how much is leaving here with the sword today worth to you? To Stimmy. And so let's see. First off, I think there's two questions there. One is how much money, how many space dollars or double dollars, I think is what I've been calling them, do we think Stimmy has on hand to give us? And would she give it all to us? How likely do you think it is that she would give it to us? Like she would give us anything to be able to get out of here with her life, essentially. Direction?
I don't know. I was making sounds. I was thinking
Oh,
sounds. I don't know if you heard them. They probably didn't pick up on the mic.
nope.
Um,
I think she's a little afraid of us, so she's going to offer enough money that she thinks that we'll just leave it. But I don't think she'll give us everything. I don't think she'll offer us everything. So I think it's likely she would do that. That's the way she would play it. So that's my question: is Stimmy going to try to just give us enough money to make this go away, or is she going to, so yes or no, is she going to give us enough money to try to make this go away? I guess I'm gonna say it's likely she will. And she does.
she offers an agreeable sum, and we take it.
A sizable amount, enough to buy a small ship, one might say.
And oddly enough, some of the items Tim mentioned, the various fruits and veggies,
And some kind of drink, some kind of beer, special beer.
yeah.
So I think
I, I
does
asked him why he does this when I haven't ever seen him eat.
well, have you seen him get hurt before?
Well, that's true. Plenty of times in training, but not this
But
bad.
not like actually like shot in kind of injured, right? Like
Yeah.
so I think Stimmy makes a sizable offer that we both find agreeable. All three of us find agreeable, I guess, is more appropriate. And I think the other question now is like she was doing to try to get out. Do we think she's going to take this now and just leave? Like, how likely do you think that is?
Does she try to secure our services for passage out of the system or something?
Oh, I think we got a 50-50 shot that she looks at us and how dangerous we are now to her,
So you guys
and
are muscle. Yeah.
and she asks us to get her out of the system, out of the sector. Okay. Does Stimmy ask us to get her out of the sector?
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so she's not going to ask us, but she's kind of in a dangerous spot. So I'm going to
Yeah, well,
say, is. Oh, am I going robot?
your stream's still going though.
Oh,
I think.
my bit
Hold.
rate dropped off. Oh,
Hold.
we're coming back. We are coming back. Ugh, I have got to deal with Comcast is terrible, by the way.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, I think we're
no
back.
surprise there.
Okay, so what's it called? Okay, so Stimmy, uh, so she's not asking us to take her. I think if she's not asking us to take her, I think it's unlikely she's actually going to leave now, or at least right now. So I think she's going to kind of rethink her plan, especially because maybe she was kind of relying on some of that money to get her there away so that she could sell the thing because she was probably going to need some security, along the way for that.
Yeah.
So I think so the question now is Stimmy actually going to leave the sector? And I think that's an unlikely. No, she's not. She's going to stay here now for at least for now.
Right. Does she need
She
us to do anything then? It has another
I was going to say, do you think
issue.
she's going to try to take this as a hey, look, I tried to kill you, you almost killed me, we're even now kind of thing? Do you guys still want to work together?
Right. Business is business kind of thing, you know.
What
And then
how likely do you think, do you think that's
can you
a
blame the gal for trying?
right? I feel like that's very likely her response, especially given that we shook her up that much.
Yeah. Well,
Ooh-wee.
now we got rid of her muscle, so she needs some muscle to do something. Obviously, we put a damper on her plans to get out. She's got to reformulate those plans, and those plans, I'm sure, still need those other people.
So I think she's going to go ahead and oops. Okay, I think we're back now. Yeah. Okay, she's gonna go ahead and we'll roll a likely that she's going to kind of let us know to check in and see if she'll let us, or she'll tell us. I'll let you know if I get some work for you guys. Like she's a little bit more what do you call it? She's a little bit more forward with telling us instead of being more like, oh, check back in with me later. She's more active about it, proactive about it. So it's likely that she's that way with us. So let's see. Yes. Okay. So
So I think at this point, it kind of a test of relationship kind of thing.
yeah, I agree.
Um, to see where we go there with Stimmy. Because yeah, I mean that it says it right there. When your relationship with a connection is tested through conflict, betrayal, or circumstance, yeah, roll hard. We don't share a bond, so we don't get.
We do not.
So
You want me to roll that one?
I
I have 2 heart.
yes. I also have 2 heart, but I think you might have a little more momentum than me.
Oh yeah, I have a +5. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good
I,
call. Let's Okay, so I'll roll this. I don't have anything that helps us with this. All right, here we go. Come on, better roll than I've been getting. Thank God.
oh geez.
Oh, God damn it.
Uh,
That was the wrong one. Sorry. Motherfucker.
oops.
Uh,
Yeah, just roll that again, but for the other one.
oh, we don't have to roll anything for develop a relationship.
That was test the relationship.
Oh, test the relationship. Oh, okay, thank you. Sorry. Test the relationship. Okay, give us the same numbers. Damn it.
Oof.
Hmm.
Neither of those
I don't think. Yeah,
fit.
I was gonna say I think swearing an iron vow would be an easy way out of this, but I don't. There is nothing that I think
Like
fits that. I don't want to swear a vow to her.
Timmy needs to swear the iron vow to us.
Well, okay, so Kayla is we're having this back and forth. Kayla's kind of given a little bit of pushback, and Stimmy gets kind of butthurt about that, given that we just took out 4 of her guys and took a large chunk of her money. So I think maybe instead of offering us work in the future, Stimmy says maybe it's best we part ways. Because like the option is to lose the connection, and I think like we could still come to her if we needed something, or we wanted, if we need a fixer in the sector, but our relationship with her is permanently that she would probably work with us as a business person, but our relationship with her is permanently hampered by everything that
Okay.
went down.
Okay.
Damn. So we just straight up lose her as a connection. Damn it, Stimmy. Why'd you have to try to kill us? Okay. Damn her.
I mean, it is because Kayla, but I mean that's Kayla's nature to do something.
I'm gonna
like
turn
that.
off the. I'm just gonna turn off the track for her, so she's still there because we have notes and stuff about her.
Yeah.
Um. So now, I mean, this little exchange means now we're not interested in talking about the box with her at all.
For sure. But now that I let that cat out of the bag, so to speak, did she pick up on that? Is she going to try something in the future? Like, did that pique her interest in any way? Is she going to try and screw us over even more about over the box?
So for starters, I think that's definitely a question we need to answer. I think it's very likely that piqued her interest.
Oh yeah.
I think she was already curious about what Phoenix wanted, and maybe pumped us for as much information as she could beforehand. But we were, after we talked about it out of character, you're right. We don't give her all the information, just kind of give her what we need, give her some information about what we need to get done, and then leave it at that. And so she already knew that there was something serious going on there, but uh, saying, that Sage said the box kind of, I think it's likely that she would do that. So if you want to roll a likely as to whether or not she will now be pursuing that. Nope.
No.
She doesn't want anything to do with us, I think.
Yeah.
I think
She was interested in it, but we just scared her off of any curiosity. Just got
I
squashed by.
well, I think
Yeah.
especially if she's not a connection for us anymore, she just does she wants nothing to do with us. So it's anything that might have been a profitable endeavor between us is not something she's interested in right now. So we
Well, here we are again, out of work yet again.
on our way back to the ship. We leave the bar, and on our way back to the ship, Kayla's like just walking along and talking to Sage and just saying things like, "So what do we do now? Like we have no friends here. Like that was our last hope at having a friend in the sector, or that was our only hope for the time being at having a friend in the sector. We're caught between, what, 3 powerful organizations in the sector. What's our out?"
Oh, Tim, what about going to Firebird?
Do you want to
How
do
how
you
does Tim react to that? Yeah.
yeah, what does Tim think?
I think it's unlikely he would agree to go to Firebird.
I think Kayla's open to it.
No, Firebird, he says.
Kayla's like, what? Who else do we? Oh, Jesus. Of course. Oh my god, stream problems. It's okay though. It's recovering, I think. We Kayla's like, I don't know if we have a lot of choice in the matter right now. We have this box. We know that the Order of the Omega was holding on to it, and we know that Firebird wants it. Like,
do we know what the Order of Omega are about? Our characters? I know we as players know, but do our characters know?
I think we have a vague understanding that they're a kind of a cult from what because we learned we know our characters know a little bit from,
like, we know they're a cult, but do we know that are they bad? Do we know that they've got?
That's a good point. I don't know if anyone's really talked to us about, like, because I feel like Phoenix talked to us about stealing stuff from them and probably gave us a little bit, like, nothing solid to go off of, but just a little like breakdown of what they do, you know. And I would imagine he would portray them as some kind of crazy religious cult. When we talk to Stimmy about them, I guarantee you Stimmy sees them as some kind of crazy religious cult. They're on a space station. They move around the sector, and there's never a permanent path to get to and from their station.
Yeah, I think so. Options are to go to. Oh well, no, we're wanted over on what's it called? On Oogle Corp, whatever that. What was the name of that?
Bionics.
Well, it's not Firebird Bionics that wants us, but it's like we're wanted, and then the security.
We're wanted by the Department of Justice.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Okay, so I'm playing another Starforged game, so I got to remember now. Okay, so what? Okay, wait. Let me look at the
Department of Justice is us. Yeah, that's
the factions. I know the Department of Justice is us. I'm trying to remember what the so we're like known space criminals, and maybe the Department of Justice wants us because of the
because we're wanted.
they were working with they were working with what's his name, the other guy, the head of security, not the head of security, but the director, I guess the director of security for Firebird, that was trying to get us to, like,
they wanted like our wanted posters went up before we even
that's a good point.
Even interacted with them. Yeah.
So it's hard for us to go to fire. It's hard for us to go any. I feel like we're kind of stuck. I feel like Phoenix is our only option right now, unless we want to leave the sector.
Yeah, Phoenix. Someone on Sagan Free Society.
From Sagan Free Society,
also,
or someone from
is an option, but it's a bad option because if we run into that dude again and he recognizes us, we're fucked. We can put up a Yellow Pages ad saying, muscle for hire at Sagan. Like,
I think we could. I think we can
give us your double dollars.
I think we could try to get work from Sagan Free Society, but I feel like it was pretty obvious Timmy was like the fixer on the station. Like, there may be other people that would talk to us, but most of the work goes through her. But
she's getting out though, so it's got to go to someone.
I think we could, yeah, but she's not leaving yet, so she's still kind of. That's why I kind of
also asking Remy for more options.
Oh, maybe we reach out to Remy.
But does that keep us here, or does that lead out of the sector? Do we want to even leave the sector? Like,
no, I think we send a message to Remy, and we got some time before it comes back, so we could do some other stuff. But I think we should send a message to Remy and just say, hey, your contact didn't pan out. We got burned. Do you know anyone else in the sector we could trust? And we kind of just, because it's going to take. I think we, in ours, this communication isn't instantaneous, right? Or there's pockets of communication, Let's see, where's
Right.
the?
It can still take some time for a message to get out of sector, right?
Yeah, let me see. Let me look at our truths because it's in the communication and data section. It's the
Communication's
Dark
bad.
Age. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. So we can send. I think there's no like communications network directly. Maybe we can get a message to someone just outside the sector that we know. Ask them to take it to to Remy, and so that might take some time to get hear back from him. So in the meantime, I'm actually kind of thinking maybe okay. I think that the choice, I think the real choice we have is,
There's also theft.
I mean, we could, so we have, we can do a couple of, we can do a couple of things. I think there's we can strike out on our own and try to, we can I think take the box, B, steal something else, do something, do some other kind of, space crimes on our own. Try to push that. I think alternately, maybe we take the box back to uh, what's it called, to the Omega, or the Omega, and try to negotiate with them. I think the our real two options outside of doing work on our own temporarily is go to Phoenix or go to the Order of the Omega. Like legitimately, we could probably go to someone. We could probably find someone from Sagan Free Society to talk to about it. Actually, maybe that's the answer, especially since we're here on Sagan. Is we do an investigation and we try to find someone to talk to from Sagan Free Society, because maybe like we're space criminals, but Kayla's not super interested in screwing people over. you know, People that try to screw her over, sure, but she's not super interested in like hurting people. And if Sage saw stuff that was kind of like scary in the box, that mind blast he got from the box, maybe maybe Kayla gets the idea to try to find someone from Sagan Free Society that we can talk to get kind of an intermediary between these two. Because all we know is the cult. All we know is that the Order of the Omega is a crazy cult from people we've talked to. But then the people we've talked to, like Phoenix, doesn't seem to be super super trustworthy. And now we've had this blow up with Stimmy. Does that sound good?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, let me. There's an investigation thing, or like a. Let's see. I think it's under adventure moves. Gather information.
Also, did the gravitational anomaly stuff only affect that station, or did we trigger something sector wide? Like has Sagan also been feeling the effects of that?
I think there's in my head. I think there's two possibilities. Exactly what you said. So it's either it was a it either caused a gravitational anomaly near it when it triggered, or it unlocked something with uh with the bloody rift, and now the gravitational anomalies are more serious, or they're happening more often.
Yeah.
I think it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
So let's see. Is this a
Is it sector wide?
yeah? Is it did opening the box trigger this gravitational anomaly thing sector wide to a degree where it spread sector wide?
Oh, okay.
No. Okay. So it was just a point. But that makes, I mean, it's still, I would still be afraid to try to activate it again. Actually, that's a good point of not giving Tim the box earlier. I didn't think about that. That could have been bad. Okay. So we know it triggered a gravitational anomaly just local, or well, we don't know that, but out of character, we know that it triggered something locally. But there have been gravitational anomalies happening, and it was very similar to the ones we've experienced.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Kayla's smart enough, and she's a pilot and all that. So, she gets the feeling that this is getting a little bit more serious. So maybe I think so. We send a message to Remy, and while we're waiting to hear back from Remy, Kayla's gonna poke around and see if there are people who might be sympathetic to talking to us about things going on in their sector. Might be looking for more muscle or looking for, someone to help them manage issues.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do I'm gonna do gather information, and I think if we succeed on this, we make a contact. I don't think I have anything. Nope, nothing to help with that. Can't shoot. Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Okay. Oh no, this is the answer though. This is Kayla's.
I mean, this tells us what we're gonna do. Yeah, for sure.
Kayla starts going around. We don't find a contact. We find another person in a position of power though that wants some answers or wants something done. I think we run into someone from Sagan Free Society getting their hands dirty as opposed to going through Stimmy for stuff. Maybe they had people watching Stimmy and saw the fight go down. And so when Kayla starts poking around a little time after the fight went down, they decide to swoop in and oh no, you know what? Damn it. I'm gonna roll pay the price, actually. I kind of don't like going that way. I don't like that direction. Because I feel like that's too useful for us, So maybe something happens while we're doing this. Let's see what. Oh, there we go. We face the consequences of an earlier choice. God damn it, my stream. Sorry about the technical issues, guys. Hopefully this is clearing up soon.
Looking at Sagan, they hate Firebird. They want to eliminate them from the sector and take over Eris.
Yes.
And they want access to the gas giant resources. So I feel like anything that goes along with them would probably be geared towards, helping them take down Firebird.
What if they?
However that ties into, you face the consequence of an earlier choice. Like, I don't know.
How about they see us as agents of Firebird, based on us talking to Stimmy and them, parsing what little they could of that. Also, they saw us multiple times with Firebird agents, right? Or at least once. What's his name? Ezra Winter.
Yeah.
So maybe they see us as Firebird agents, and so instead of trying to get in touch with us and get us on their side, now Free Sagan Society wants to take us out. Like they just want to they want to cut the head of the snake off as fast as they can for this particular thing. They don't want to they don't want to leave us operating in their space station and around their planet when clearly we're doing something for Firebird, to them at least.
Okay.
So maybe things don't pan out on the station and we head back to the ship and spring a trap.
Okay.
What do you think this looks like?
Do they want to get rid of us, or do they want to space us?
I think
like,
they.
do they want to kick us out? Like,
No. I think they want to kill.
like, hey, you guys need to get the hell out of here. You're not welcome anymore. Or is it like, you die now?
Well, remember they're kind of like we kind of see them as like space mafia. Like they're like they're a lot of families tied together as this organization that's trying to terraform Cerberus.
Yeah.
And while they're probably closer to the little guy in this fight, they're still probably pretty ruthless, and they see Firebird trying to encroach on their things. And they know that we're agents. They think that we're agents of theirs. So I think,
or at least they think we're working with them.
Yeah. Agents is in like, yeah, we're in their employ to some degree. Like how much they don't necessarily know, but they've seen us with Ezra, who I can only imagine is known to work for Firebird. And so I think they want to kill us. I think the idea is to get rid of a threat that helps them make a move on Firebird.
Okay, well, time to enter the fray, I guess.
So what that's what I'm trying to ask though, is what does this look like to you? Do you think this is like another like group of armed people, or do you think they like maybe tried to set a trap on the ship or something like that, like set a bomb up or something like that? Like I feel like if they're kind of mafia-ish.
They don't want to get their hands dirty, but this is their turf.
This is their turf.
They would be well within their rights to blast openly if they wanted to. It's not like they would have to hide it from anyone here because
it's their turf. Well, and I feel like it's also them. It's kind of them also maybe puffing up their chest a bit.
Setting examples for anyone else working with Firebird.
There you go. Setting examples is a good way to put it. So yeah, I think.
And that's the attitude that they approach us with, like, we got like public kind of execution kind of thing. Gather everyone around, like, this is what happens when you work with Firebird.
So I feel like we're heading back to the ship after having like talked to a bunch of people, and as we're like getting towards the dock, there's like what do you call it? It's like a disturbing lack of people. Like this is an active space station with people, trading and all that stuff. But as we get to the dock, there's not a lot of people around, not as many as there normally are, at least. And it's a little disconcerting, but we make our way to the entrance of the Mercy, and as we open up the hatch, I think a guy or a gal and their goons step out, like a couple of people, maybe 3 or 4, like they were waiting there for us, and then a bunch of people enter into the dock from various places that they were all chilling.
It's completely outflanked in every direction.
Yeah, we have no physical escape back into the station for us, and there's someone in between us and our ship.
They're not happy that we're working with Firebird and that we sliced up Stimmy's crew.
Right? So I think this is still enter the fray, because I think we're gonna have to deal with this kind of like a combat, even if we get out of this without entering actual combat. Um, do we want to put a pin in this for now and pick this up next session?
Yeah,
Because I
I
think
think
this
it's
is
a
going to
good
be a
spot to end.
big
Yeah.
turning point here. Yeah, and I will feel really bad if we get halfway through it. We're like both like, oh, we need to take a break.
Yeah.
So okay, so I think that's a good place to stop it. I think we are to set us up for next time. Which so we're going to do the end session move here real quick. Um, oh, I think let's see. I think we marked progress on everything that we actually had going, except I think now we're like a step further. I feel like everything that we've gone through is a step further in dealing with the box. So maybe we mark progress on that guy too. I'll just add that. Um, if there's a quest connection or other situation we'd like you to focus to on our next session, make a note of it. And I'm making a note of the mob of people and the people that stepped out from our ship. We need to determine who they are, what they do, and what they want from us. We're pretty sure they want to kill us at this point, but maybe as we're developing these people, we come up with something else.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to focus on these people, and they want to make an example of us. We know they want to make an example of us. That's about it right now. So when we come back, we'll be figuring out who these people are, the mystery behind the random people who got between us and our ship and are surrounding us now at the dock. Um, and that's good for one momentum for each of us. Because we're going to
Yeah.
need it. All right. And that's it for the end session move. But real quick, while we're still here, we can talk about the legacy move.
That's right.
Earn experience. When you fill out a box, 4 ticks on any legacy track, take 2 experience. This experience may be spent when you advance. What is advance?
That's when you know, do the thing.
When you do the thing. When you.
You know, get a new asset or
Oh, okay.
uh,
Oh, it's a
do a
thing down
thing.
here. I was not paying attention. When you develop your abilities, improve your resource, gain a reward, or boost your influence, you can spend 3 experience to add a new asset, 2 experience to upgrade an asset, or choose from the following categories as appropriate with your focus and opportunity. Yeah. So I don't know if you want to spend yours at all, but I actually think I would like to upgrade my scoundrel path. I think the showdown with Stimmy is justification. Uh, oops. Oh man. Oh, this is perfect too. Oh, motherfucker. Both of the scoundrel upgrade options are actually really perfect for our situation. So I can either make a connection. Let me see if I can bring this up on the thing here. Okay. So uh I can either make a connection, or I'm sorry, I can either get this when you make a connection to search out a new contact, you can roll shadow. If you do, re-roll any dice on a miss and envision how your reputation or underworld contacts leads you to a disreputable connection. Uh so that I think is cool. It kind of fits with what we were looking for, but also I could do when you make a quick escape or con your way out of a situation and burn momentum to gain a strong hit, take +1 momentum after you reset. If you envision how this momentary success leaves you fated for future trouble, mark 2 ticks on your quest legacy track. I feel like that is also effective, or that's also makes sense given that what we just had with Stimmy, where we essentially got out of a nasty situation. I mean, we fought our way out, but I think the connection one is more realistic, though, especially given that we're trying to find connections. I feel like that's this situation with Stimmy left a bad taste in my mouth, so now I'm like, and we already reached out. We're reaching out to Remy, so that's already kind of it gives me a little uh, story gas for that for that. Hmm. Yeah, so I'm gonna spend my 2 experience to get that. Is there anything that you would like to advance?
Yeah, I'm looking over those right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, let me go ahead and close this. Let's see.
There's a few things.
If you want to take time to think about it too, that's fine. We can. I think now or at the beginning of next one would be fine. Or if you just wanted to save the experience for later. Uh,
Yeah, I don't really. So I've already got 3 assets.
yeah.
So I don't know if I need another one quite yet.
I
If I
mean,
did, I'd save it. I'd have to save up anyways.
and to be fair, you're gonna get another one when we get a tiny ship for Tim too. So
It's true. Um, there's a few of the things on the paths that actually make some sense, and some of them that I was kind of planning.
okay.
For instance, on under Blade Master and Vestige, there's you wield an iconic blade and give it a name. Considering we just picked up an alien blade that we just got, or did Stimmy get it from us? I can't remember.
Stimmy got it from us. You know what? But I think we were in a position. We got a lot of money from her, so I think we were in a position where if you want to retcon that, I'm 100% fine with that. Of us going like, now the blade's ours, and then just leave her with her money. And that also, I think that gives us a little. I think if we took that blade, I think that gives a little bit more incentive for Stimmy to not leave. Like that make a little bit more sense because she just lost
Yeah,
her meal ticket essentially.
yeah.
So I think we got some money from her and the blade. If you want to go down that path, I'm totally fine with that. I think that'd be great.
So there's a couple of things for that. It's under Blade Master, you wield the iconic blade, give it a name, so you have a named thing. You
Mm-hmm.
swear a vow to it, binding something to it, and blah blah blah. It gives you some bonuses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you make moves using that oath-bound blade.
Oh, that's
Uh,
cool. Yeah. It lets you mark a box,
yeah,
and if you oh, that's cool. On a hit with the blade, you fill the box out, and then if you make a move with the blade and score a miss, you can clear the box and re-roll any dice. That's pretty cool.
so that's really cool. The other one is with Vestige. You carry a physical relic of your heritage, envision its powers or nature. When you make a move directly aided by it, by the relic and score a miss, you may re-roll your action die. Those are both very close what they do. they're both very close in flavor as well. So it's really hard for me to choose between them because like in my head when I picked these paths, I
Mhm.
was kind of like these two fit really well, and
They
so it'd
do.
be you pick both of them and they mesh together. Now they big thing for me is like what order do I want to do this in?
That's what,
Um,
because I feel like the vestige would mean that this sword, that Tim knows what the sword is, or at least can give you some. I
well,
think
I was thinking it being me being a vestige, this being a Essentia weapon
Mhm.
or a weapon created by Essentia
Essentia
created
Tech.
people.
Yeah.
You
Like
know,
stuff that they had from the Essentia, like to build this
right?
whatever the sword is. They use the Essentia technology, or maybe they received it from the Essentia as part of them, as part of
Yeah,
their what's was that, the gift basket the Essentia give to the races that they create.
yeah. So this it fits with that, and then maybe as I develop it later on, I give it a name later.
Yeah,
And
well, and as you as you wield it in combat, it becomes a, like, people start talking about it because they
yeah,
see it, and it's a very flashy alien sword. So it's gonna. I like that. I like that path of like you take it on because there's some, maybe the box or Tim have some idea of where this came from. Out of character, we know at this point that it would be some from the Essentia somehow, either their technology that they gave, that race, or something like that. And then over time, you become, this sword becomes well known, and it becomes your, like, kind of legacy, uh, a legacy weapon. You basically create the legacy for it as you
yeah,
go. I
yep,
think that'd be really cool.
yeah. And I kind of planned to do that when I picked these two paths to begin with because I saw that hey those would mesh really well together, and so this fits into that. Like the fact that you mentioned it was a sword, I didn't even think about it until just now. I was like, oh, I am a sword guy.
We kept calling I kept calling it the alien Guga, and then something flipped when we were leaving. I don't remember. I have to go back and look because I seem to remember calling it a sword at one point in time in the other game, but not like it wasn't like that's what it was the whole time. But then when I was doing all the prep stuff for this, I was just thinking of it as a sword this whole time. Like, why? I mean, why would this guy have it displayed in his office? Like, what would it be? And so it had to be something like cool to, like, intimidate people or something like that. And so
Yeah,
I kind of went with sword, and I think that, dude, I think that totally fits is exactly what we just talked about. I think that was perfect.
yeah.
That is awesome.
Okay, well that's what happens.
Sweet.
Yep. I have an Essentia blade.
Oh man. Oh, and you're gonna have to do something with it. Whatever shakes down here in the Bloody Rift sector, you're gonna have to do something with that sword. You're gonna have to stab Cerberus or something like that with the sword,
Yeah,
or maybe the Rift. You gotta stab the Rift. I don't know. There's... All right, man. This was a great session. Uh, I'd like to apologize to everyone for any of the oddities in the stream. I'm gonna go back and, as I'm doing the uploads for the video, see what happened, and even clean it up. And then I'm still working on my technical difficulties there, but at least we made it through, I think, without disconnects this time, so that's good. But sorry for the slowdowns and whatnot. Um, I think this was a great session. I really appreciate, Jason, you being here with me on this journey. It's been very fun, and I'm looking forward to our next session, which won't be next week. It'll be the week after, right? I believe next week's our off week, right?
that is correct.
Okay. So we'll be back on, that puts us at the 17th. We'll be back with this game. I am actually going to be busy this following week also, so I may not be streaming much. I'm going to try to stream a little bit tomorrow, to just try to work out some more of these technical issues, and I'm going to try to stream again near the end of next week. Um, but then, so there'll be a little gap here, but I am still working on things. I'm still trying to get stuff under control for anyone who is watching and is wondering what's going on. I appreciate y'all being here, and I think hope everyone has a good night, and we will catch you guys 2 weeks from now.